over here at Myers tonight doing a little crop tour. I haven't actually got walked out in here. This one spot in the corner here is where they were hitting it pretty bad early. You can see there's about 10 feet here that they just took it. But it's just starting to head over here now. And this is about the first up in this corner here. You can see they've just chewed it off. And yeah, I definitely need to get in here. But as I get just a few feet in here, you can see them flying out of here, jumping out of here. But when I get in here just a little bit farther, there's minimal damage. There is some hoppers in here though. So I definitely need to get this. I need to get this hosed again. I see some hopper damage and that stuff just north of my house. I gotta get hosing on crop again here, I guess. So yeah, I haven't actually gotten out, walked in any fields for quite a while. A little spot here, I think I must have, trying to see what it is. Obviously I burned this with some chemical. Oh, this was the end of my boom. This was the end of my boom when I first kicked it on. Just a little, must have been a little cocktail at the end of that boom. But I like this wheat though. Dang, it looks nice over here other than those hoppers on the edge. But if we could fight them off, I think we could still win. The spring wheat is really leafy and it looks really nice. I don't really see any disease pressure to speak of or anything, and just starting to shoot some heads. A couple days this will be pretty good. There's a few hoppers out here deeper too, but looks like a fairly nice size head forming there. I like to see. It's a lot better than some years. If it's a little bit dry, it'll shoot those little short heads up, but this looks decent. This wheat here's got good potential, and looks like we're really not lacking anything. I don't see any bad colors. It's a good green. That's a good indication that we're okay on fertilizer. Just, you know, just a initial visual inspection. So yeah, hopefully we can get good weather this week, and we need to get over pretty much every acre again and finish our late season in crop spraying, and then everybody needs a pass of grasshopper spray, it looks like to me, for sure. So that's what it looks like this evening. You can see on this edge here where the grasshoppers got this right when it was a seedling coming up. They just wiped it out. We sprayed it once and we held them off pretty good, but we definitely got to get it again. This step over here, and I think partly we cut this. There's 100 acres of alfalfa hay here. Well, it's sunny that direction, and it had a lot of hoppers in it. We cut that off Friday and Saturday, and I'm sure that helped them, encourage them to move over into that wheat. We'll just kind of check this while we're out here. It sounds crunchy. I think it's dry. Hay it's not a super heavy crop, and yeah, looks like we'll try to get here with the baler in the morning and break this up and hopefully get this 100 acres tied up tomorrow, and then move along, maybe get some spraying done as well. So yeah, nice and dry on top. Pretty leafy though, and looks pretty decent still. Underneath there, it's still, yeah, it's good. It's ready to go. We need to hit this tomorrow for sure. Here's some chances of showers. Be nice if they would hold off. We could get this done, but it is what it is, I guess. So we'll keep working on it from there. Maybe I'll get a look at some haying equipment and kind of that end of our operation as well tomorrow too. So we'll keep our crop tour going here this evening and see what else we can find. Well, we got a little change of pace and a different view today. We're out baling up some alfalfa, and just due to circumstances and where I was at, where the swather was running and stuff, I did not get any footage yet of any cutting. But we're out here today. It's 4th of July. It's a very nice, cool. It's about 60 degrees today. It's great conditions for putting up this hay. We have about 100 acres down. We're going to get put up tonight, and it's not real great. A little disappointing actually for the amount of moisture we've had. It's less than half the crop probably we had last year. But we're thankful for what we got, and we're out here rolling it up. Double raking it. We got 32 feet of windrow here we're putting together, and we're in the 8834, and we're pulling New Holland BR 7090 baler with extremely dirty window. Holy cow! And we're cruising right along about 6.5 miles an hour. This stuff's not real heavy, and this ground we harrow it every spring, keep the molehills down the best we can, and it's pretty good ground to cover. It's a pretty nice big field here. These bales are all net wrapped, and we're making 66-inch bales. We can make them bigger, but they get pretty heavy and a little harder to handle, and it actually gets pretty heavy on the truck, and even to the point I can get overloaded. So we keep them there, kind of keep them moderate. It is a few more bales to haul, but I think the excess life we get out of our equipment because of it pays off. These bales are, like I said, are all net wrapped. I put 2 1/4 wraps on these. I know some people do more, some people do less. That seems like a good balance to me. I have no trouble holding my bales together, and it really keeps them good and tight. When I do like straw or something, or like if I ever do any weed patches or anything, I'll go up to 3 wraps just because I like those to stay together. The straw is pretty spongy and can have quite a big compression on the wrap. So, but normally on any hay I just do 2 1/4, and I can adjust that easy right there. Just push the button and can run it up and down a little bit. And so yeah, it's not a great crop, but it's really nice. It's green. We managed to not get this rained on. We were fortunate enough that we were late enough getting started cutting, which was, I was getting kind of anxious, but it was kind of a blessing in the end, because several of my neighbors that they got ambitious and got a lot cut down, and it sat for 2 to 3 weeks with multiple inches of rain on top of it, and it really got wrecked. So I feel bad for those guys. So we're just kind of getting rolling here on haying. We've got about 400 acres grass, alfalfa to cover, and then we have about 500 acres of winter wheat and winter triticale to put up, but it's all coming fast, so it's going to be kind of fast and furious here the next couple of weeks. Here you can see the rate coming up the field here. 1982 2290 case, pulling an HS 14 wheel rake, and that tractor is one that I bought a few years ago, and it's kind of our raking and auger tractor, and we don't put a tremendous amount of hours on it, but it works really nice for these projects, and it saves hours on other tractors, and it really is economical on fuel and does a great job, and so it's nice to have an extra tractor around. We don't have to hook and unhook equipment so much. My other tractor right now is hooked to the sprayer, and it will stay on there most of the summer to cover spraying projects. So it's nice to have every piece of equipment available as we need it. We don't have to jockey in the tractors and stuff around it. So that's what I really like, that part of it, and that really speeds up our process a lot, not having to waste time going to get tractors and going to get equipment and whatnot. This field, it's pretty sunny up this way now, but kind of came off this hill as we work across this valley. It gets considerably better, the hay does, so we're going to start getting more bales as we go here. And it's going to be nice though tonight. Hopefully we don't need breakdowns or any trouble. I'd say by about 10 o'clock or so tonight, just a little after it gets dark, we should have this wrapped up, and then we're going to get the swather running hard tomorrow, and hopefully we can just kind of keep it rolling on through now. I did pause it for a couple of days. We were kind of getting backed up pretty bad, and I didn't want to get a whole lot more cut down. I got some spraying I have to get over. We got to get some fungicides on, and then we need to get over some spring wheat. Some of our later spring wheat, we need herbicide and grasshopper spray on everything as well. So we took a little break for the last couple days with the swather, but we need to hit it strong again and just really get going and keep ahead of the rake and baler here as we try to get rolling heavy in this hang. And hopefully in a couple of weeks we've kind of we're into that winter triticale pretty deep, hopefully even done. And it would be nice to have a week, maybe 10 days would be great, but we would take a week of time. We can kind of get some pre-harvest stuff ready, get the combine serviced, get the trucks, make sure everything's good with them, go over the augers, just kind of get everything ready. It's nice to not have to just go straight from hand and just jump right into harvest without any prep work. It makes it a struggle for sure. I'm sure a lot of guys, you guys know that. But winter wheat is moving fast this year. It seems like the crops are maybe a little bit ahead of what the average is. We'll see when they actually get ripe. But it seems like things are moving along well, so we're feeling the pressure to keep rolling. Usually winter wheat harvest we look at the very end of July and into the first week of August. But I feel like this year, I feel like there's going to be winter wheat right by the 25th of August, or excuse me, 25th of July probably. So that's kind of our target date to kind of try to be ready, but we'll see how it goes. We'll keep working and get what we got. We're thankful for the moisture we've gotten. We're thankful for the hay crop that we have. And to some years, this is all dry land. Everything I do is dry land. So we're really dependent on rainfall and winter moisture. And there's years where we don't get it, and it's a struggle. So I'm always thankful and never turn it away when it comes in the spring. So we're going to keep baling here and hopefully get this all knocked out. And tomorrow we're going to be maybe seeding. I know it sounds crazy, but we've got about 170 acres of sorghum and oats we're putting in. We put some in about 2 weeks ago, and it's up. It's beautiful. It's going to be a great stand. We got some out of some neighbors that hired me to do some. We had to do some spraying and some tillage and kind of clean up some stuff that was kind of in rough shape. Got that done this morning. We're going to try to get the drill going tomorrow. And I told them I'm pretty confident it's going to work. We got great moisture in the ground still, and the weather's warm, and sorghum that's what it likes, and it's just going to grow. So hopefully that works out good for them. We got about a day, probably a day and a half of seeding. Get some spraying in there, and we're starting to feel like maybe we're getting our feet underneath us and catching up a little bit from this wild spring and seeding time. But it seems like as soon as we catch our breath, it's time to roll again. So that's what we're up to today. We'll keep working away and keep trying to show you what we're up to around here these days. Hope things are working good for everybody. Thanks for watching.